watch a quick safety briefing from the security team at Taj Exotica Resort and Spa, The Palm, Dubai. Keep your eyes glued to the screen. The safety briefing is a video. Thank you.
This hall is located on the ground floor. The entire resort is connected to an automated fire alarm and an automated announcement system. In case the alarm sounds, do not panic. Our dedicated fire and emergency team members will respond to ascertain the cause of the alarm. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, our team members will guide you to reach the assembly area as quickly as possible. Please do not panic, as the hotel associates are trained to handle such emergencies. There are 8 fire exit doors for the ballroom, indicated by the running man sign, that will lead you outside this hall. The assembly point for this event is the open area at the resort main entrance. We have first aid available in the resort with trained first aiders. For medical emergency, there is a doctor.
That was a very lukewarm ready. Guys, we need the energy up. Are you ready? Welcome to the IBPC Corporate Quiz 2025, generously supported by Tata Group, Air India, Taj Hotels, Tetley, and Titan, and also backed by Bumer Corporation. We are thankful to our media partners, Khalid Times, and radio partner, City 101.6. We are also grateful to our annual sponsors, TriStar, Lulu, FMC, Aster, and HSBC. A huge round of applause for our sponsors, guys. This event would not have been possible without them. Okay, a show of hands. How many of you have participated in this quiz before? Whoa, that's quite a number. Okay, and how many in this for the first time? Up. That is quite a number. Quite a number, guys. No Googling today, okay? We are watching. All right. Before we get to the quizzing part of the event, and to officially kick things off, we have someone very special with us tonight. A leader, a visionary, someone who's been a driving force behind many of IBPC's successes, including this Corporate Quiz 2025. Mr. Ramesh Mahalingam is a seasoned chartered accountant and business strategist with 40 years of experience in finance, M&A, and ESG, holding leadership roles across MNCs, family offices, and banks. A dedicated IBPC member since 2007. He's also a mentor, a thought leader, and an award-winning public speaker, and also someone who passionately nurtures future business leaders. That could be one of you guys. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming IBPC Governor, Mr. Mahalingam, to the stage. Over to you, sir. The mic is yours. And don't worry, we promise not to ask you quiz questions today.
Thank you, Stuti. Well, after that rousing introduction, I'm actually looking for the halo around my head. If any of you can spot it, please help me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my absolute pleasure to invite you to the second edition of IBPC's Corporate Quiz. Last year was the first, and it was a thumping success. And if the registrations are any indication, this year it's twice as big. And it's for you, all of you put together, whether you're participating in the quiz or here as an audience member, to make it a success and segue into the third edition, which should be twice as much as this. It's our ambition to run out of halls that can accommodate all the audience wanting to participate. With that, let me wish all those who are joining us for the first time a very warm welcome, and please allow me to introduce IBPC to you. As the UAE's largest and oldest business forum for Indian professionals and enterprises, IBPC has been at the forefront of fostering business excellence, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. And this is among corporate leaders and businessmen. Through various initiatives, including networking events, industry discussions, and knowledge-driven programs, IBPC provides a platform for professional growth and business success. IBPC has done this consistently for over 21 years and is slated to do more on the score. At this juncture, let me request the technical folks to play the AV on IBPC, and then we'll talk about the quiz proper. AV, please. Now, I know it's tough to compete with the afternoon siesta of Dubai on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah? But notwithstanding that, the attendance is very, very deep and well populated. I can see people trickling in by the minute. Hopefully, in a little while, the hall will be completely full. The IBPC Corporate Quiz is actually an extension of IBPC's vision of developing corporate leadership, knowledge sharing, and extending people's boundaries. It's not just a competition, it's actually a celebration of intelligence, teamwork, and the pursuit of knowledge. By bringing together corporate professionals from diverse industries, we actually aim to promote critical thinking, problem solving, and a spirit of learning beyond the workplace. It's also an opportunity to connect, exchange ideas, and enjoy a challenge in a dynamic and engaging environment. And what's more, it's not limited to participants by nationality. In fact, from what I gather, there's at least about 19 nationalities participating in today's quiz. Credit for this goes to the untiring efforts of the team that has put this quiz together, and what's more, has actually done the dissemination of information across by using media to the best effect. I'd also like to express my sincere appreciation to our sponsors whom Stuti has very eloquently thanked, our partners and organizers who have played a crucial role in making this event possible. Mind you, putting an event together, an event of this order together, is a Herculean task. And due credit to Ankur Gupta and the entire IBPC team for having pulled it off in such a short time at that. So, without further ado, let's dive into an evening of wit, wisdom, and friendly rivalry. Best of luck to all our participants. May the sharpest minds prevail. Let the quizzing begin.
Thank you, sir, for your fabulous words and for introducing IBPC to this amazing audience. And guys, a big round of applause again for IBPC Dubai and the amazing work they do. All right, you guys love trivia, right? So let me entertain you with some IBPC Corporate Quiz 2025 trivia. This year, we had over 500 registrations representing, as Mr. Mahalingam mentioned, 19 nationalities. A smashing increase from last year's 278 registrations represented by 8 nationalities. So a huge round of applause for this vibrant and diverse community that we are, actually you are, a part of. And so since we've upped the ante on the registrations and the nationalities represented in this quiz, we've upped the ante on the prizes too. Today's winner walks away with AED 7,500 in cash, a return business class ticket to India from Air India, a one-night stay voucher for two from Taj Exotica Resorts and Spa, the Palm Dubai, a diamond pendant from Mia by Tanishq, and a gift hamper from Tata Consumer Products. And it doesn't just stop there. We've got prizes for the runners-up, for the finalists, and even for the audience. In fact, everyone gets a hamper. It's like Oprah's favorite things, but with Tetli tea, soulful breakfast goodies, Ching's noodles, and Himalayan water, because hydration is important, guys. So we've been generous with the prizes, and you are responsible for being generous with the applauses. Please keep them coming in. And as you get ready, let's roll back the clock and take a quick peek at last year's event. AV, please. Here's your first question. Which individual has hosted shows at over 4,000 locations across 11 countries, including at the iconic Royal Opera House in London? Any guesses? Need a hint? Some people need a hint. Some people in the audience need a hint. Let's give them a hint. Who was mentored by none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the former president of India, and ended up starting a company through which he has impacted over 16 million youngsters across Asia with its educational initiatives? Answers? No answers? I think your guess is better than mine. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man who needs no introduction, Giri Pick Brain Balasubramaniam. Giri, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Stuti. Thank you so much. A good afternoon and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Lovely to be here for year 2. Thanks to the entire team from IBPC. It started as a small conversation a year ago. We didn't expect it to grow into the kind of stature that it has in just 2 years. These are numbers that you normally achieve after about 4 or 5 years in a quiz, even in a place like India, where you tend to get teams. But in a corporate quiz, the normal numbers in India are roughly like 80, 100 teams. That's the kind of numbers that you would get. Because for some odd reason, as we get older, we prefer to be in the audience, and not answer questions. It happens in the office. It happens everywhere. You're better off. It's a category called non-playing captain. That's a good category to be in, You sit in the stadium and then you say, this is ideally what Dhoni should be doing. This is what Virat should be doing. But you don't want to do it yourself. So that's really encouraging to see here. But what I took away from a year ago, which I would really like to underline, which I think has contributed to the way in which this event has grown in such a short time span, is undoubtedly the kind of passion and dedication with which IBPC took it up. I made a comment last year to them. I said, nobody would have guessed this was the inaugural edition of the quiz. It looked far from that. And I think truly, that deserves an applause, no doubt. The second factor, I think, was the way people enjoyed the quiz. It somehow, in regions like this, you treat it more like an event, an evening of fun, celebrating knowledge, networking with others. You're not so bothered whether you're going to be on the winning side or not on the winning side. Sometimes in some countries, it becomes extremely intense. And when I say some countries don't interpret only India, I do quizzes in Japan. It is seriously competitive. It is so competitive, it is not funny. So, in fact, this year we knew the quiz is becoming far bigger here because we had people mailing us saying, we missed last year, but we've been told to come. Can you give us an idea what the quiz is about? So truly appreciate that a quiz is growing in this manner. It's nice. It's a wonderful thing for a place like this, which in many ways truly represents what international is. The thing that really touched me when I was briefed after reaching here was the number of people in terms of the number of nationalities that have registered for today's quiz. That is remarkable. I think that deserves a round of applause. Fabulous. It's really, really fabulous to see that. More than me, I think Rashmi was very keen looking at the number of women participating, and that's gone up significantly. So that is fabulous as well. So really nice to have all of these as part of the sub-parts of the growth in this quiz. So from here, of course, we're going to have a preliminary and a final to follow. Let me, from my side as a quizzer and not as a host of a quiz, really appreciate all the sponsors. It's not easy to do an event of any stature in any part of the world without the support of corporates. Their benevolence, their willingness to support knowledge initiatives like this is what helps all of us to enjoy such evenings. I think we truly owe them our gratitude and our appreciation. So thank you to all the sponsors that Stuti mentioned. Really fabulous to see the kind of support that this quiz has got. Of course, yes, it is an IBPC event, so it's bound to be big. It's known that, well, the serious ones in terms of corporates will take part, yet it takes a lot of resolve for corporates to allocate their side of the kitty for a program like this, so that's well appreciated. So from here, while we've got one eye on the time as well, because we certainly do not want to go too late into the evening, we want to be a little more crisper this year with the final, because last year's final, I think I was a little benevolent on time with the finalists on stage. So that's an indicator that I would not be equally benevolent this year. The contest also is growing. A lot of repeat participation, which is very good. I always make this statement. The winners, the ones who do well today, they get their money, they get their trophies, they know they've done well today. For Rashmi and me, it's like an annual appraisal in our office. You got to wait for 1 year. If the client calls you back to do the quiz, then you've done a decent job the previous year. If teams who took part the previous year come back to your quiz, then you've actually done a good job the previous year. That's our index, and that's a very honest index. People will not come back if they did not enjoy. So the number of hands that went up saying, yes, we were here last year, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And of course, you know all the questions that we've asked last year, none of them will appear this year. So welcome to the final. Yeah, absolute welcome. Before we get moving, and we've got the prelim and final, of course, we are two hosts now as a default, especially when we come into foreign countries, when we travel out, for the simple reason an event cannot risk itself on an individual. What if I have laryngitis in the morning, which has happened once in the past? And I was actually supposed to be hosting the quiz in the presence of the then governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Dr. Raghuram Rajan, and I lost my throat. I shot 4 semifinals since 9 a.m. that morning. He showed up at 3:30 and I'm squeaking, and he said, what the hell happened to you? And he's one of those really charming governors, you know. So he was sitting with us, came in early to watch the quiz, the semifinals. He said, you were okay. And just suddenly it happened. So luckily it was in India and we had our team there. So one of my colleagues chipped in. So ever since at these big quizzes, of course, even otherwise, Rashmi's been a wonderful co-host and has been growing in stature over the last decade that she has been co-hosting, largely with me in India and, of course, in the Middle East and Singapore. She does a quiz where IBPC Kuwait is involved. We do a big one there. There's, of course, IBPC Dubai, which, of course, she's been part of last year and now. She also hosts quizzes in Singapore, and she's now the face of the younger lot and the campus editions of Tata Crucible in India. She does a huge number of quizzes for the banking sector, Union Bank, and so on. Of course, the only professional lady quiz host yet in Asia, and she does not like that title. She says, that's not right, that needs to get rectified. We need more girls to get into quizzing. But she's been doing a fabulous job over the last decade that she's been with us, and she's been going around appreciating students and youngsters who take part in such knowledge ventures. So it is my pleasure and privilege to bring her on to do the prelim while I will host the final. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage Miss Rashmi Furtado as she joins us here. And as she walks up on stage, I have only one sincere request to all of you, and it's a very sincere request. In India, sometimes it's easy for us because sometimes in auditoriums like this or banquet halls like this, the connectivity may not be as great as it is in Dubai. I understand your internet connectivity is good, but we apologize, this quiz is not brought to you by Google. All right? So, in the true spirit of sportsmanship, yeah, we can do a lot of things, and we do that sometimes in some places where it's really serious stuff and so on. We give token numbers, we take the phones. I think at the end of the day, as a human race, we need to learn to trust each other. It's important, and that's the easiest level of security that you can find in the world, when you trust each other. We trust you to play the game in a fair way. Just play the game in a fair way. That's all that I would like to underline. And I think everyone's okay losing a competition that's fairly fought and played. No one's ever got a problem on that. If you're good, you're going to make it on stage. If you're not, you'll make it next year. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's a sport at the end of the day. You're all knowledge appreciators. So we didn't want to give you seat numbers, allocated numbers, etc., and all of that. So just stick to your answer sheet. Just to let you know, sometimes, I mean, we're like school teachers. It takes us no more than 30 seconds to actually figure out two people have collaborated, because as human beings, we're very good at copying the wrong spellings correctly. Yeah, we do things like that. We do that. I've seen people, exactly the same wrong spelling will be copied because you had no clue of the answer anyway. So, I mean, let's not get into embarrassing situations. So, all the best to all of you. I want to actually start with a thank you to appreciate. We've got, I think, just about close to 200 was the number that they told me. That's fabulous for a quiz like this. I want to start by appreciating you for taking time off this afternoon to celebrate knowledge. It is a world that needs to be celebrating knowledge, but I don't want to stand between you and young Rashmi as we welcome her to take over the prelim, and I'll see you in the finals. Do well, stick to your own answer sheets. On that note, all yours, Rashmi.
Thank you, Big Brain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to have all of you here. And like Big Brain said, no nationality, no gender can divide us knowledge enthusiasts, right? That does not matter at all. At the end of the day, what we learn today and the questions that we're able to crack today and the joy you get out of it is what matters way more than anything else that probably people might think divide us. That does not matter at all. So it's wonderful to have all of you here on a weekend, that too in the evening. So thank you for being here. So we have some wonderful set of questions lined up for you. But before that, a quick look at the rules right there on the screen. While Big Brain did tell you about some of them, the other rules right there for you, no negative marking. So don't worry. Even if you think you know the answer, please go ahead and write it, okay? It's not like how CAT used to be. You get a negative marking for wrong answer. Nothing like that. So go ahead and try. Most often than not, your best guess is the right one. Believe me, because later on when we give you the answers, you're going to feel bad that you did not write down your best guess. All right, so go ahead and write down your answers. We have inbuilt tiebreakers. So this is mostly for if there are quizzers here who have come for the first time. Actually, let me check. How many of you are taking part in a quiz for the first time? Wow, wonderful. Can the rest of us give them a round of applause? I think that's really great. Wow. So we have a huge quizzing community here in Dubai or in the UAE, and we also have newcomers here. So welcome to the family of the knowledge enthusiasts. The second rule right there on your screen is something I would like to explain to all of you. You might wonder, we have 8 podiums on stage here today, which means 8 finalists on stage. And we have so many of you taking part. What happens when we have multiple of you tied up on a certain score? So we have something called inbuilt tiebreakers among the questions that I'm going to ask you here today. All right? And whoever gets those questions right will be the ones who will be on stage. That's another reason why you should try and answer each and every question, because none of you are going to know what the inbuilt tiebreakers are. It's only Big Brain and I who know what the inbuilt tiebreakers are, okay? So ensure you answer all of them. The next one there, I already explained to you, top 8 would be in the final, on stage. And of course, the last one, switch off all electronic devices. Big Brain has a lovely story to tell when it comes to switching off electronic devices. Earlier, long ago when we started quizzing, the rule was switch off all mobile phones. And while he was conducting the prelim, hosting the prelim, there was a child who was nicely browsing a tab, and Big Brain was like, didn't I just tell you to switch off all mobile phones? You said mobile phones, this is a tab. So I'm like, thanks. I mean, we did not know that that is how it works. So after that, we are very, very careful. Today, we go to the extent of telling children, you know, Bluetooth headsets, your smartwatches, everything. Switch off anything and everything that can connect you to the internet, right? We need to tell children that because, believe me, they're extremely smart. So they can outsmart us all the time, yeah. So switch off all electronic devices. And of course, the last one that I would personally like to tell all of you, please ensure you get your question number right. You have the right answer, but against the wrong question number, that would be a wrong answer. Okay? I will, of course, give you the question number. It would be on the screen as well. But if you have a doubt on what the question number is, please ask me immediately. I will tell you what the question number is. But please be a little mindful about the question numbers. I have seen answer sheets where 5 to 6 answers would be right, but the question numbers would be wrong. And you will not get points for that. Okay? So please ensure you get that right. 1 point per right answer. We wish you all the very best. Good set of questions, like I told you, something that you would have seen in your environment and would have probably seen or experienced. So things that you can work out. So just enjoy the game. I'm very sure you'll do well. So let's get started with the prelim of this quiz here today with question number 1 coming up on your screen. Here we go. What in the world of computers was this? All of us have been using our devices for a long, long time. What could this have been? This is how it all started, with that particular instrument or device. What is this? Use your imagination. If there are kids around, I'm very sure they'll be able to guess the answer. Or probably not. I think we have used this device far more than kids today. I think so. All right. Do not worry about spellings, okay? I have to tell this to all of you. I do this at every single quiz of mine, irrespective of the age. Don't worry about the spellings at all right? But of course, if you write an X in place of an R, that's not acceptable. But otherwise, it's perfectly fine. Let's move on to the next one, a rather easier one coming up. Here we go. Identify this brand that once ruled the world of communication. Many of us here would have had the devices from this brand and would have probably sworn by this brand long ago. It was actually a good brand. It was a good brand. All right, as I see most of you have finished writing your answers already and are waiting for the next question, let me move on. Another good one. Identify this person who's known to give people hell. Like I said, most of the questions are the ones that you would have seen or experienced. You will be able to work it out. All right, let's move on to the next one. You all seem to be extremely well prepared. Let's move on. Question 4. Here we go. Identify this man from the world of business. He is known to bring about a huge process that helped in the world of manufacturing. He also is known for a very huge brand. A lot of contributions from his side, actually. When I say process in the world of manufacturing, I also mean something we would have learned when we were students as well. Something very, very important. And I said brand. Yes, I did. Let's move on. That was question number 4. Keep an eye out. Top left corner is where your question number would be. And of course, before every question, the question number will appear on your screen. Question 5, coming up. Here we go. This brand is called Home Coat. Who owns it? Would you all like me to read out what's on the screen? Yeah, will that help? All right. I created Home Coat because my home is my sanctuary. It is a home that's filled with love, laughter, and a place where I can spend quality time with friends and family. I have taken great care to curate a space where everyone can feel at home. Our homes are the only place that can bring a sense of calm and serenity in our lives. Collectively, we seek good health, good habits, wellness routines that make us feel we are putting our best foot forward. So why not extend that philosophy with home care or into home care? Which lady owns this brand? That's the clue. Probably not someone you would associate with business. In the first glance, you would not associate the lady to be a businesswoman. All of us here definitely know this lady. Let me put it that way. Okay, I have last year's champion already telling me no more clues. No, I will not reveal his identity. Let's see what happens after that. We'll get back to that. Okay, that was question number 5. Let's move on to the next one. That's question number 6 coming up on your screen. Here we go. This is an Italian high-end luxury brand found here in Dubai. Which brand is this? I said Italian high-end luxury brand found here in Dubai. All you need to do is give me the name of this brand. That was question 6. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. I'll go a little slower. If not, we would like to set a good pace. We have a lot of audience questions for you, so I would like all of you to make the fullest and experience this quiz this evening completely. Let's move on. Question 7 coming up on your screen. Here we go. This is the cross of St. Andrews, which is possibly the inspiration for the logo of which bank? Given the origins of its founder, okay, keep that in mind, origins of its founder, I said this is the cross of St. Andrews. Okay, St. Andrew. And this is possibly the inspiration of the logo for a certain brand, for a certain bank. Which one? Extremely well-known bank. Huh? This is not a needle in the haystack at all. Again, all of us present here definitely know this bank. St. Andrew, I said. And given the origin of the founder, it's believed that this particular cross, St. Andrew, is the one that is the inspiration for the logo. Name of the bank, yes. Name of the bank as the answer. That was question 7. I hope all of you are noting and keeping an eye on the question number. Question 8 coming up on your screen. Here we go. This is a Swedish audio streaming and media service provider, and it was founded on 23rd April in 2006. The founders are right there on your screen, Daniel Elk and Martin Lawrenston. How or what am I talking about? Which streaming service am I talking about? Extremely well known. Very, very well. I would be surprised if you did not know the name. The founders, Daniel Ek and Martin, Swedish. All right, let's move on. Question number 9 coming up on your screen. Here we go. Slightly longer, but a good question. A man named James Davis first noticed this effect in 1966. The effect is a theory that individuals evaluate themselves as worse than they actually are when in a group of high-performing individuals. What is this theory called? Let's not get into introspection now, but all I need to, many of us do this, right? So that's why I said let's not get into introspection, but what is this theory called? When in a group of higher performing individuals, a person can actually evaluate themselves as way worse than what they actually are. What is this theory called? That was question number 9 for you. Let's move on to the next one. That would be question 10 coming up on your screen. Here we go. Easy one. Start with why, find your why, and leaders eat last. Are all books authored by whom? The author of the book is what I need to know. Start with why, find your why, and leaders eat last. The author of these books. All right, let's move on to the next one. That's question number 11 coming up on your screen. Here we go. The French word for this is esprit d'entreprise. The word originates from a word that means to undertake or to do something. What word am I talking about? One word. Good answer, something you can definitely work out. Read the question properly, you can work this out. French word is esprit d'entreprise, which means to undertake or to do something. Which word am I talking about? That was question number 11. Let's move on to the next one. Question 12 coming up on your screen. For all of you travelers, this should be a nice one. If you're spending in baht, which as the local currency, which country are you in? I see many of you smiling with this question. Local currency baht. Which country would you be in if you're spending in baht? That was question 12. Let's move on. Question 13. Here we go. You need a question for this? Oh my God, I actually saw someone saying no. Okay, I will give you the question. She is the recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom in the US. Who is this lady? We of course know her for a lot of other things that she does. She's a huge name in the world of philanthropy. Huge name in the world of business as well, but more in philanthropy. And US Presidential Medal of Freedom is what she's received. Who is she? Probably know other members of her family better, but she too has done a lot of work in this world. That's question 13. Question 13. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 14 coming up. Here we go. This movie captures the story of which company or which brand rather? Very huge brand, global brand, present in so many countries across the world. Michael Keaton, the founder, based on the true story. There are a lot of clues on the screen. Only look at it closely. There are a lot of clues on the screen. I'll tell you what the clues were later on. when I give you the answers, because if I tell you the clues now, it's almost like giving away the answer. I can't do that. And believe me, if you're wondering why I'm not giving you too many clues, it's always tough. The competition here is very tough. So you all make our lives very difficult when it comes to the corrections and evaluation, So when we know the quality of quizzing is higher, the clues automatically reduce. That's the reason we can't do that. But like I said, a lot of clues on the screen. Let's move on to the next one. Question 15. Coming up on your screen, here we go. Again, identify a brand from this. Globally known brand. Huge movie. This was a movie that was created on the brand. You can, it's actually a great collaboration that happened. The movie is about that. Globally known brand. The next one, that's question number 16. Name of the brand. Name of the brand is what I need. The previous one, right? Name of the brand is what I need. I said it was the movie is about a beautiful collaboration that happened, but name of a brand is what I need for an answer. All right, question 16 on your screen. Here we go. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Who is the legendary author of this book? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Spelling error chalega, no problem at all. Author of this book. Probably most of us here would have read this book actually. Coming up, question 17. This is a specifically, particularly enjoyable one coming up on your screen. Here we go. From this person, you need to identify a brand. Let me tell you a little bit of the background story. This is a brand that is named after a British Prime Minister from the 1830s. And however, the true unknown hero was one George Staunton, an East India Company botanist who was living in China. And he is recorded to have written his friend at Kew Gardens as early as 1790s. And he was talking about combining oils from the aromatic flowers of bitter orange tree with light-bodied black teas. Chai. Okay? So, now identify the brand. Named after a British Prime Minister from the 1830s. The brand is named after the British Prime Minister from the 1830s. He is the Prime Minister actually. Named after him. The brand is named after him, although a lot of the work was done by the other person, George Staunton. Again, something you can work out even if you don't know. You can definitely work this out. Okay, let's move on. Question number 18 coming up on your screen. Here we go. It's a technique that was pioneered by Donald Freeland, and it was developed by Great Western Garment Company in the early 1980s, and it was introduced in the denim industry, and it turned out to be a rage in that decade. What am I talking about? Which technique? Look at the keywords there. Denim industry, 1980s, and I said it became a rage at that time. So what technique am I talking about? You need to identify the? I need to know which technique it was. And denim industry is a huge clue. 1980s, the timeline, and denim industry is a huge clue. All right, I can hear some of you mumble the answers. Imagine if I can hear you mumbling. Your neighbors can also do that, so please don't do that. Okay? That was question 18. We have two more to go. Two more to go. Let's move on to the question number 19 coming up on your screen. Here we go. Good one. It was a company that was started in 1977 by Irish brothers. The names are right there on your screen. Alistair and Paddy McGuckin. And Prince Sultan bin Muhammad bin Saud Al Kabir. It was started by all of them together. And during the early years of the company's history, there was a little infrastructure for the production and sale of milk in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This brand was a pioneer. Which brand am I talking about? I can see some faces and like, I know this, why am I not getting that name? That happens to a lot of quizzers actually. I know this, I've seen this somewhere. Question 19 for all of you. And to end the prelim on a little bit of a lighter note, the last one, question 20 on your screen. Here we go. All you need to do is identify this guy. The character. Honestly, I feel this was actually one of the initial times of memes, you know. If you actually think back about what kind of stories would come up with this character and look at the memes that are on social media today, you can actually map some of the storyboards there. Probably the one with this character are way better as well. All right, that was question 20 for you. You have about 20 seconds to, if you have left any answers blank, you can fill it up. And after that, we will start collecting your answer sheets. Oh, that was a bunch of books and the author. The title of the books are Start With Why, Find Your Why, and Leaders Eat Last. Which one? Eight. That was question number 8. 8. 9 was where I told all of you to not introspect. If you are in a group of higher performing individuals, that was question 9. Question 3. I showed you a picture of a person and I said, identify this man that is known to give people hell. French word for the French word is a spirit de enterprise, and it means to undertake or to do something. Which word in English is what I need? All right, we are running it again. Okay, quickly. All of you can quickly check the numbers. That question number 1 for you. Question 2, the brand. Question 3, I just spoke of it. Question 4, his name. Question 5, home court is the name of the brand and who owns it. Next one, again, the name of a brand that was found in Dubai. Next one, I said St. Andrew's cross on this flag and known to be the origin of a logo of a bank. Next one is the streaming service, Swedish streaming service. Question 8. Question 9 is the theory when you are in between the higher performing individuals. Question 10, the titles of the books and the author. Question 11, the English word from the French word right there on your screen. 12, the local currency, if it is baht, which country. The next one, identify this lady. Question 14, again I said identify this global brand. Next one, I said beautiful collaboration, but the name of the brand is what I need. Next one is author of this book. Another one, next one is again the name of a brand named after this Prime Minister, British Prime Minister. Next one, question 18. We were talking about the technique and I said denim industry 1980s. Next one would be this particular brand that is connected to infrastructure for the production of milk in Saudi Arabia. Next one, the last one, this character. Which one? Ten. All right, those of you who have completed your answer sheets, if you can just raise your hands, we'll come to you and collect. Okay, most of you have completed, all right. May I request the team to start collecting the answer sheets, please? You all can put your hands down, don't worry. We'll come to you and start collecting the answer sheets. Okay, I'm going to stick my neck out. I think if you're scoring anywhere between 12 to 15, you have a good chance. And I said, yes, I'm sticking my neck out. Let's see how all of you have performed. Anybody who has not yet handed over your answer sheets, please do so immediately. Anyone who has not yet handed over your answer sheets, please do so immediately. Everyone who's helping me with the evaluation, please go at the rear end of this ballroom. Stuti, I think, has some instructions for all of you which would help. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed the prelim, and I myself am also waiting to see how all of you have done. So we'll come back to you in a bit with the answers and we'll know who the finalists are. Thank you. Over to you, Stuti.
Thank you. Thank you, Rashmi. Wow, what a first half. You guys, you deserve to give yourselves a round of applause, please. Let's take a little stretch break. So grab some refreshments, hydrate, maybe Google some random facts. We'll be back in 45 minutes at about 5:45, where things get even more intense. And hey, no worries if you didn't make it to the finale, because we have some audience prizes up for grabs. Who knows? Like Rashmi said, some of you might soon discover that your wildest guesses are in fact your best guesses. I hope brains recharged, tummy recharged. Now this is where things really heat up, and this is where legends are made. For those of you who've just joined us, because there are some people who joined us during the break, I just want to do a quick recap of what happened. Before the break, Giri and Rashmi took us through a 20-question written round where we tested some quizzing muscles, threw in a few curveballs, and had more than a few aha moments. And now, 8 lucky ones from that round are going to move into the finale. So we need the energy up, people. Can I hear a round of applause? Thank you. Okay, I know you're itching to find out who are our finalists, but before we do that, let's just hold on. We love a little suspense. So let's build the drama just a tiny bit more. And first, let's do a few important things that we need to do before we get onto the quizzing round again. So, this is a great moment to recognize some of the incredible people who've made tonight possible. And there's no one better to help us do that than the man who's pretty much the face of IBPC, Dubai. A front man, always steady, always inspiring, and absolutely essential to every big hit we've had. The one, the only, Mr. Suresh Kumar, our Chairman Emeritus. Sir, can we please have you on stage? Sir, can we ask you to say a few words, please?
Thank you. Good evening. Greetings, all of you. She said a few words. I think I'll have to go a bit beyond that. In terms of quizzing itself, I can recall I came to Dubai first in 1979. And in 1980, we used to have family quizzes, family groups, 15, 20, and then slowly it snowballed to almost 80, 90. These were not corporate quizzes, these were individual family quizzes, and they were amazing ones. Each of the families would host them. And then slowly there was the Gulf News Bob Holness quiz program that was very, very popular. So quizzing has a bit of history in Dubai, if you go back. But corporate quizzing is thanks to the Tatas, thanks to their support. Thanks to their initiative, they took the initiative, reached out to IBPC, and last year we hosted the inaugural edition. And I think it was an amazing one. The energy and the enthusiasm was clearly evident. But more than that, I think we appealed to a huge number of quiz fans, many that contacted me later and wanted to be part of this movement. I think that momentum, that enthusiasm is palpable. And I hope IBPC reaches out to as many non-members as well for these initiatives, especially families, young people, quite a few entrepreneurs that I met outside in the last 45 minutes. So I think that energy and commitment is what we need to sort of engineer. So I wish all the contestants the very best. I'm sure all of you are winners, in a sense, but there will be a few winners, and we will know very shortly. So thank you, Stuti. Amazing stuff. All the best.
Sorry. I'm also going to request IBPC Secretary General, the man who steers the ship but also has many a talent up his sleeve, Dr. Sahitya Chaturvedi, to join Sir for the felicitations on stage. Okay, so it's time to give a big shout out to the real MVPs of the evening, our sponsors. They are the ones who made this event possible, and let's be honest, took the stakes of the competition to a whole new level. Let's show them some love with a big round of applause. Mr. Mukund Moghe from the corporate brand Tata Group. Mr. Aditya Singh, Head Jewelry International Business, Titan. Mr. Ashish Kumar, Commercial Manager, Air India. Mr. Ashok Kapoor, Area Director, Sales and Marketing, Middle East Indian Hotels. Mr. Ankush Saha, Assistant General Manager, Tata Consumer Products. And Mr. Rajan TN, Executive Director, Bumerk. Can we please have you up on stage for the felicitation and a group photo, please? Something very close to IBPC's heart this year is sustainability. So in line with our commitment to a greener future, we are embracing a refreshing change of honoring and felicitating our guests in the most natural way possible, and that is with a plant. Okay, also time to bring up the rock stars who've been working behind the scenes to make all of this happen. These are the folks who've planned, prepped, and pulled off this fabulous event with style and smiles. Let's get them up on stage and give them the applause they absolutely deserve. Starting with Ms. Rashmi Furtado from Grey Caps, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Tata Sons Meena, Ms. Sugandha Mathur, Taj Exotica, Dr. Sahitya Chaturvedi, Secretary General IBPC, Mr. Amitava Banerjee, General Manager IBPC, Mr. Ravi Iyer, Senior Executive IBPC, Mr. Aditya Singh, Head Communications and PR IBPC, Mr. Karthik Raman, Convener Technology and Telecom Focus Group IBPC, Ms. Rachna Rajiva from Wings Brand Activation, Mr. Vishal Bhatia from the Guild, and Ms. Manoranjani Dhalu from Yardstick Marketing. Can we have you guys up on stage, please?
Hello, good evening everyone. The 19 nationalities, almost more than 20% participation from the women, and the more than 500 registrations for this knowledge event. And among the team, the one name which I will like to announce is Stuti Sinha. So you cannot be behind the curtain. Stuti now join the team. So it's not just anchoring today. She has been involved in each and every text, word, letter, and the contents. Thank you, Stuti. So I take the name, the first probably in the alphabetic order, but the contribution as well. So Mr. Aditya Singh. Fortunately or unfortunately, the other second name coming in this bunch of the certificates is mine. So Sahitya Chaturvedi. Praveen Kumar. Miss Rashmi. There were the interesting questions. One of them was related to fragrances as well. And the other name is Sugandha. So Miss Sugandha, please. She's not here. The creativity word, Rachana, Rajiv. Mr. Vishal Bhatia. Another team member working together, Manoranjani. Energetic voice you would be hearing, Stuti Sinha. Convener from IBPC, the Technology and Telecom Group, Mr. Karthik Raman. Mr. Technology. The name without whom these programs cannot be completed, Mr. Ravi Iyer from IBPC, Senior Executive. Among the sponsors, among IBPC team, among the advisors, and each and every person in the content, the single common factor is Amitabha Banerjee. So I will like to invite Amitabha for this recognition.
I think he deserves a much larger applause for the hard work he puts in for every event. He's our Amitabh Bachchan actually.
We're almost there. Before we get to the finale, one other thing that I need to do is give a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Dr. Isa Muhammad Bastaki, President, Dubai University. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. You are in for a brain spinner of a ride. Okay, I don't want to be the villain that stands between you guys and the finale anymore. So, Giri, wherever you are, we need you back. We're ready to announce the names of the 8 finalists. Giri, over to you.
All right, good evening, everybody. One secret between us, these are good quizzes where we don't tell you how much you scored, so all of you can go back and say you just missed out by 1 mark. All right, that's perfectly fair. No problem. That stays between you, me, and Rashmi. All right, now the answers to the question, so you know actually where you are. Evening, sir. No, not at all, sir. Bang on time. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we also welcome our guest, His Excellency, Mr. Satish Sivan. He's been here last year. He's back with us this year. Lovely to have you, sir. And quickly on the answers before we get going, so you know where you stand. All the questions that Rashmi had lined up for you. The first one, I think she gave it away by saying, which computer accessory? I would not have asked that question that way, but that's okay. The answer was the mouse. I think the word computer made it a giveaway for everyone. Otherwise, people would have actually had problems. The second question was emotional for me. The logo of BlackBerry. I was a huge BlackBerry fan, and it really hurt when Rashmi spoke in past tense about that brand. I mean, to me, it's a present tense brand in my heart. But yeah, what a fabulous brand. Then came Gordon Ramsay. That was a good one. Generationally relevant question. Henry Ford was easy. The tricky one, which was also a tiebreaker question, was who owns the brand Home Court? Sometimes when you don't know the answers, read the question carefully, because we tend to leave a lot of clues in the question. The answer was Courtney Cox. She owns Home Court. So the answer was workable from there. Then came Todd's, a famous brand in Dubai. Then came the St. Andrew's cross that you find on a famous national flag. Which bank logo were we talking about? If you replace the blue color flag with the red color, you'll find it on the backdrop. It's HSBC's logo. HSBC's founder actually had his roots there, and therefore the HSBC logo comes from the St. Andrew's cross. And that was a nice one. Spotify was easy. The frog pond theory was a tough one. Quite honestly, these kind of questions like frog pond theory, and I'm happy to state, everybody here got it wrong, which is important because that was our Google test question. If you can get questions like that right, we know what you are doing, unless, of course, you're a doctorate in psychology sitting here. So these are questions we tend to slip in to understand fair play. Hats off to all of you. Absolute. Even the scores indicated that because it didn't cross the threshold that we thought. Simon Sinek was easy. I think leaders eat last was a little bit of a giveaway. The others would have been tough. One tricky question which led you to trouble, and it was a tiebreaker, was the French word for spirit d'enterprise, pronounced in English that way, originates from a word which means to undertake or to do something by yourself. The English word for that is entrepreneur. And that created problems here today. A lot of you wrote business, etc. Well, entrepreneur. Then came, in which country is the local currency baht? Well, someone's really loyal to Thailand did not write Thailand and wrote Bangkok. Well, I mean, high focus. I mean, I really appreciate. How do you But is Bangkok, I mean, I don't care what else Thailand has. I just go to Bangkok. I mean, clear. Supreme focus, but -1. I mean, you didn't get that. Okay, Melinda Gates, some of you misfired on that. MacDonald was the film. It's a lovely film. Watch that movie which she showed you, McDonald's, the story of McDonald's. Then came Nike, the story of Nike. Those were entertainment business questions. One of my favorite books, in fact, I'd love my children to read that at some point in time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What a book. Read it. If you have kids, ask them to read it. Robert Kiyosaki. Fantastic book. Then came another beautiful question. Found on our breakfast tables is a Prime Minister of Britain from the 1830s who's named after a tea brand, or a tea brand is named after him. The answer, and from today you will smile on your breakfast table, Earl Grey tea is actually Prime Minister Earl Grey. Someone wrote Winston Churchill. One of his regrets would be there's no tea brand after him. Then came a jean technique, or a denim technique, as she put it smartly, is Rashmi. She didn't use the word jeans, is stone wash jeans. I think my generation would know that. There was quite a rage in the 80s, is these stone wash jeans. Then came a very interesting question from your neighborhood. In 1977, two Irish brothers started this famous company and brand. Later, of course, Prince Sultan Al Kabir took it up and made it a huge brand. The answer, Almarai. Almarai was the question that we slipped in. And finally, the character was Dilbert. All right, I'm going to recognize two individuals who, of course, will come on stage if one of the 8. It's possible. So we had shortlisted 10 of you today. 8 who will go on stage. 9 and 10 are on my card. In case one of the 8, gentleman or lady has received a late Valentine's message and decided to leave today, it's possible. You don't know, sometimes life is 48 hours delayed. So just in case, okay? So finishing 10th in the prelim, technically, and we had close to 200 today. That's outstanding. Finishing 10th, representing Amal Capital, Ramakrishnan. Where are you? Put your hands together for him. Hard luck. Just remain standing. All right. Deserves a better applause. 10 from 200. That's tough. 10 in a classroom of 30 is tough. I mean, 200 is a large classroom. And just about missing out. Well, he'll now pray someone's gone home on the Valentine's Day. It's true. From Erickson Shafiq. Put your hands together for him. He is an outstanding quizzer. He's won some remarkable finals of mine in the Sultanate of Oman, where he used to be. He's now moved to Dubai, and he's a brilliant quizzer. So if he's in position number 9, watch for the top 8. Well, he's won some remarkable quizzes. Well, maybe he'll say in his younger quizzing days, but he's a fabulous quizzer. All right, top 8 on stage. Time for us to get going. Rashmi, you're good to go? All right, my team is good to go there. Our finalists in random order, not in the order of the marks scored. Please put your hands together. Our first finalist here today on stage at the 2nd edition of the IBPC Corporate Quiz. Walking up as our first contender, representing eFunder, would be Ayush Bhatia. Put your hands together as Ayush walks up on stage. Neighboring Ayush as our second contender here today, from the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Pratyush Goyal as our second contender. Neighboring Pratyush as contestant number 3, walking up into our final, from Colonel MFO Ramya Gati, will walk up as our third finalist. As contestant 4, getting on to our final here today, representing Yokai, Pradeep Atmaram as our next finalist. contestant 5 joining him on stage on the other side. On table number 5 from Anshuman Kishore Consults, it's Anshuman Kishore himself. Put your hands together. As contestant 6 neighboring him on stage, walking up representing the Al-Shaya group will be Kalai Selvam as contestant number 6. It's contestant 7 walking into our final here today, representing TBWA, Nikhil Kumar from the world of advertising. And completing our lineup here today, as we move into edition 2 of this fabulous quiz that started a year ago, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage the defending champion, Kanishk Mukherjee from Amazon. The young boy who lit the stage on fire a year ago will be back on stage. He knows the mistakes he made in the prelim. He was being a little extra friendly with Rashmi and me in the break. And we consciously kept avoiding him. In fact, I patted him and said, happens. I don't know how he interpreted that word from me. Well, you can get a little extra nervous saying, did I mess it up? But ladies and gentlemen, 8 outstanding quizzers. 45 minutes of quizzing is what you're going to witness. The first 2 rounds we're going to pass, which is clockwise and anti-clockwise. The value of a right answer is 50 points, whether you get it on your direct or on a pass. All right? Questions will appear on your screen. No negative marking in the first 2 rounds. So I'll come to the buzzers as we progress in this quiz. So let me get started with the first round of our finale here today. All 8 on stage. Well, in India we call it Vastu. I don't know what you'll call it here, but we've had this peculiar commonality that's happened at least over the last 5-6 months, and it's a really active season from which Rashmi and me are coming in here. We've done something like about 240 shows in the last 7 months. In fact, yeah, the Reserve Bank of India celebrated 90 years. So we got that tender, and she spearheaded that quiz with a huge 30-state quiz. Fabulous event, and invariably there have been occasions where there's been one single lady or one single girl on stage, and that young lady has gone to either be the winner or finish in the top 3. So just yes. So gentlemen, just be a little careful. One lady can be a handful for 7 gentlemen. All right. So, our pleasure. If we are ready, if you can get going with the first of our rounds here today, on your screen, around the world, here it is. Sorry, 2 rounds passing. First round, second round. Any other doubts that you come prepared with? Yeah? He's so nervous. Why? Calm down. All right? In fact, I remember many years ago, I don't know how many of you are from Pete Sampras's generation. How many of you guys, what a man. I mean, before the Federer era, it was Pete Sampras, and a journalist asked Sampras a beautiful question. And he asked him, which Wimbledon was your toughest to win? Everyone thought he would say the first title. He said, my second Wimbledon title was the toughest. And the journalist asked him why. He said, when I won the first one, no one expected me to win. The moment you win the first one, there's a huge amount of pressure on you. Defending a title is more difficult than winning a title. Good evening, Kanishk. All right. No pressure. No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. Chill. All right. 50, the value of an answer. Don't scream out the answers. We've got fabulous audience prizes for you as well. So just hold on till I come to you. We'll start with contestant 1 who will go clockwise. So Ayush will start with you and go across to Kanishk. Question direct to you. On your screens, the 2 TV screens here, the large ones, are your best view, but that's view as well for you. Table 1, question 1, on your screen. Here we go. It's called the Mocha Mousse. Released in January this year. What is the Mocha Mousse? Every year in January, you get a release like this. What is this?
It's a paint color. Paint.
So you got to give me a better, more specific answer. 50 if you get it right.
IKEA
Passing
paint
you.
color.
Yeah, so I'll guess this
Moving
is.
across. Pratyush, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is Pantone. So Pantone comes up with the Pantone color of the year for each year. So I'm presuming for this year this is Mocha Mousse.
So the color of the year for 2025 is actually the Mocha Mousse.
Yeah.
You're from Abu Dhabi or here?
I'm from Abu Dhabi. I traveled for the quiz.
You traveled from Abu Dhabi. Put your hands together. That's nice. And the first 50 goes to Abu Dhabi. Well, all right, here we go. Question to you. Second one, that's a good answer. On your screen, here we go. This is a company called Red Robin. They came up with a special burger which weighs 18 ounces. That's roughly 500, not roughly, it's supposed to be exactly 500 grams. The burger was launched in 2024. Why? Why was a half kilo burger specifically launched in 2024? 18 ounces.
Yeah, so this is the gold medal burger, which basically, after the Olympics, for the gold medal, so the weight is actually equivalent to the weight of a gold medal that you give at an Olympics. After the Paris Olympics in 24, they came up with the gold medal burger, which is sort of weighing exactly as much as the gold medal.
So the weight of a gold medal in an Olympics was 18 ounces.
That's correct.
And therefore a burger as a tribute.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, 50 more. Beautiful. Okay, even the computer knows which question to throw where. Let's see. Question number 3 to you. Here we go. On your screen, this is a manufacturing machine for a particular product, which is a false product. People call it a false product or a fake product. Why do you need a machine to produce a fake product? If so, what is this product? You should get this right. Audience silence. You should get this right.
Does it produce false teeth?
False teeth. Passing you.
Does it produce false nails? Like, I presume women like such stuff. So I don't know. I presume it's for.
Just to clarify, men also wear nail extensions these days. They do. They do.
I'm unaware of that, but I presume that this is the false nails because you can color them on or put whatever on it, and so you can kind of change it, I presume. So false nails.
50. Last 50, nail extensions. All right, question to you, direct on your screen. Here we go. This is specifically a yellow-colored bullet train. What's so special about this train in Japan? So whichever screen you look, it's the same train. Look at every screen. Clues? No, we're not going to leave anything. There's nothing. It's the same projection everywhere. 5 seconds. Go ahead, Pradeep.
So I think these are, I guess these are trains that go before the actual train to kind of make sure that everything is in order. So it could be either the tracks or perhaps like wastage around the tracks or whatever. So this is like a test train that goes before the actual train to kind of test that everything is kosher, as to say. So
every train
yeah, because like the Japanese
has another train in
Japanese value efficiency more than most. So so I think like just to be that 100% sure. So it's like a train, 4 train that goes before the actual train just to make sure that the train is correctly on time. The next one, that is, or the correct train.
So, you give multiple stories.
I would say that this is a train that goes before the actual train just to make sure everything is in order. It could be trash, or it could be just to make sure that the track is correct. So it's not the real train which does not ferry passengers. It's to make sure that there are passengers on the next train who reach their destination on time.
Put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Lovely answer. It's actually called the doctor train. It's a train, the Japanese value quality. And one of the things they do not have the time for, because of the speed at which their bullet trains run, is to actually test the train. And they kept wondering, how do we do it? And someone came up with the idea and said, why don't we run a train to test the tracks? So this is loaded with equipment which does all the testing and gives an all clear for the rest of the trains. It's not one before every train. I mean, that's impossible to do. But it is called the doctor train, which basically does the maintenance checks, includes garbage to be collected if it's on-track garbage. Well answered on that front. I really like the environment angle IBPC brought in as well. So good one from him, and another 50 to his kitty. As we move across on the other side to question number 5, as we move across to Anshuman. Question to you on your screen. Here we go. This is a jeans brand that's banned. Why is it banned in this world? It's a jeans brand that's banned in this world. It was originally marketed from Sweden and it's banned. Why is it banned? 5 seconds. Can I pass you?
Yes, please.
Choose to pass. Kalai Selvam.
Yeah, this is basically imported from North Korea by the Swedish brand. Hence it's called Noko jeans.
So No-Ko is North Korea. And there is a ban on anything that's North Korean. Put your hands together. Level answer. 50 on that. And question direct to you, Kalai Selvam, on your screen. Here we go. These were teacups in the olden days, designed only for men. Why? And it had a rather peculiar design as well. Why only for men?
I have the problem too. This is to prevent the tea from, smearing your like the mustache.
Little better answer. So why is it designed?
So that you just take in the liquid, not the leaf. And also not to get the leaf onto your, mustache.
There's another specific reason in those days. If you could give me that, I'll give you the marks. The mustache part is very logical.
Yeah.
There's a little more to that, which is the accurate part of the answer. Men mustache tea, logical. But why did they need that? What did men do that they required a teacup like this? So let me rephrase it for the benefit of everybody. There's a small contraption that you see at the top of the cup, right? Why or what purpose did that small contraption serve as? There was a role for that. What was the role for that? No? Moving across.
So that's a mustache guard, like you mentioned, and men used to use pomade or starch. That possibly
men used to
use either pomade or starch to wax their mustaches like beard, and if you have your tea coming in, that would work against it, so your mustache would droop. Your styling goes away.
Oh, so why the contraption?
So that your mustache doesn't get wet while you're drinking the tea.
And if it got wet, what would happen?
It would droop. Your styling goes away. Whatever mousse or pomade you have used would, Hercule Poirot, for example, he used to wax and use pomade regularly, and your styling goes away. It's likely to droop as a result.
Put your hands together for him. Men would wax their mustaches in the olden days. So one was, of course, the so-called whatever you call it, the swirling of the mustache wouldn't go. The second, which was more to do with hygiene, is your wax wouldn't enter the tea or the coffee and it would get trapped in that contraption. So you clean that out and then you continue sipping your tea because the heat would logically melt the wax. 50 to him. Interesting product innovations. As we go to the last one, no, the penultimate one, this is for you on your screen. Here we go. This is China, that is Macau. What's so special about this bridge? What does this bridge have that makes it a quiz question?
Pass.
Going across, defending champion. Yes, my friend.
So I'm gonna guess any car which accidentally crosses this border from Macau over to China, they've made a U-turn flyover for that, so they avoid any army intervention. And so it's used for normal transport or trade transport, but it's the main reason is that it's a border, it's a flyover U-turn at a border, and to prevent unknowingly if you infiltrate towards China, they've made a quick, like seamless U-turn so that you can come back. Just a guess.
Passing you.
It's
Passing you.
It's the longest sea link between China and one of its parts. It's the longest sea link in the world. Is that
Pratyush?
Yeah, so I think this is to do with like one of the countries is a right-hand drive country, the other is a left-hand drive. So basically they have this ceiling to sort of just ensure that once you're traveling over to the other side, the traffic just doesn't get rammed, right? Because like you're like from an orientation perspective on two sort of different sides of driving.
So you've got two neighboring countries which actually have two different driving rules.
Styles. Yeah.
It's a left side of the road or the right side of the road, and the loop actually gets you onto the other side of the road automatically.
Correct.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Very logical, but you don't think about it. Beautiful answer. One country is right-hand drive, the other country is left-hand drive. What do? You just build a beautiful bridge that takes you around the other way. All right, smart answer. As we go to the next one, and it's your question on your screen. Here we go. These were vehicles purchased by rich Europeans in the olden days, but they never ever used it. Why would they buy it if they never used it?
So these were basically vehicles that these kings or the royal family bought, which was for their carriage when they died. So they never used these cars when they were alive. These particular supercars at that time, expensive cars, were purchased so that their last journey is in this car. So it was their death vehicle or the last journey car for them.
So when you're alive, you decide in which vehicle you want to travel on your last journey.
Yeah.
So you don't touch it at all. Put your hands together. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, we'll take a look at the scores at the end of the next round. I think we'll gain a little bit of time. So I'll move on to the second round of this quiz. It's creating the future. Here it is. And we go anti-clockwise, which means we shall start with Kanishk. On to your question on your screen, Kanishk. Here we go. Connect the following to an answer.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
Is this the Palm Jumeirah? Where we are right now. So.
Passing you. Passing you.
The Palm Jebel Ali, the new palm that is opened up. Obvious next guess.
Passing you. Kalai Selvam.
I'll go with Burj Al Arab.
Across.
I'll pass it.
Anshuman? No?
I'll pass it.
Pradeep?
Okay, let me get more specific. Is it the Taj? The Taj Exotica palm?
They are our gracious hosts here today, but passing you. Ramya?
No idea. I'm passing through.
Across, Pratyush?
Yeah, I mean, just a wild guess, is this Ferrari World?
All right, very emotionally Abu Dhabi answer. Ayush?
The Louvre in Saadiyat. I think Killa design had something to do with the Louvre air design.
That was your question?
Right, try.
All right, anyone in the audience? Hands up. Yes, the lady in front. The calligraphy. The round is creating the future, and the answer you're saying is Museum of the Future. Are you an architect? We'll still give her her prize. Put your hands together for her. All right.
She has just won herself the J Wellness voucher from the spa at Taj Dubai.
Oh, all right. She collects it later or right now? Can they collect right now or later? Later, okay. Oh, you got it? Okay. Oh, you can, no problem. It's easier for you to walk across if you can. Oh yeah, she's coming. All right, just turn this side. Just turn this. Ladies, yep. Nice. Okay. All right, question number 2, anti-clockwise. On to you. On your screen. Here we go. What is unique about this new launch of an airline?
I'm gonna guess pet-friendly, dog-friendly flight.
Meaning?
As in, this is meant for dogs or pets to be transported, dedicated for them between multiple destinations.
Dedicated for dogs?
Dogs or pets.
Or pets? Oh, an airline?
Yeah.
Plus 50. Plus 50! You got that absolutely right. Business class is allowed only for the pets. If you want, you can sit in economy or cargo probably. But absolutely right answer. Well worked out if we worked it out. It's called Park Air. And well worked out on that, really. I love the tail fin because it's actually a tail. That's nice. All right, workable questions as we go to Kalai. Question to you on your screen. Here it is. These are robos named Rookies from South Korea. The next city that's going to see them is actually going to be Dubai. Where are you going to find these robos?
So I work for the group that owns Starbucks. This is by Starbucks.
Okay, then I'll withdraw the question.
Pass it to me.
Plus 50. Starbucks is introducing Rookies. Lucky. He works for the group that manages Starbucks as well. Al-Shaya manages a lot of brands. So moving across, he gets a 50, lucky one at that, but a good answer. So in future, you'll find these baristas who are robos at a Starbucks. Across to you, and Anshuman, your question. Here we go. Connect all of these to the year 2024. Huge.
I'll pass this again.
Pradeep, on the other side. He looks at the visuals like a crime scene. Very investigative it is.
You just need one connect, right?
I want the overall answer. 2024.
2024. Okay, so I'd probably say Davos. I mean, that looks like one of the micronation countries or whatever, perhaps the coat of arms. I mean, you can stop me if I'm wrong.
I'm happy if you're helping the others. Right?
Oh, okay. Davos.
Passing you. Ramya.
I'm passing this too.
Pratyush.
Yeah, so I think the logo on the right is of the Sorex Bank, which sort of it's the bank which manages all of the Nobel prizes which are given. And I think these three gentlemen are the winners for the Nobel Prize for Economics. I think
Superb! Oh, fantastic answer. Considering he's from the Investment Authority of Abu Dhabi, he will know who's won the Economics Nobel. Would have kept a close tab on that to know those results. Good one. As we go to the next one. And Ramya, your direct question. On your screen, here we go. Sorry? Oh, Pradeep's direct question. Sorry. Yeah. Pradeep, here we go. Okay. These are specifically imported and now created in Rjukan, spelled Rjukan, in Norway. Why do they create these contraptions?
Okay, so Norway. So I'm guessing it has something to do with perhaps sustainability or solar. So you can see a couple of solar panels there. So it's perhaps to kind of reflect the sunlight onto the solar panels and also kind of make a message saying that the glaciers are melting, and so it's kind of a visual representation of the glaciers are melting. So tourists who go there can see that, okay, so there is no glacier, and you can just see that as an image there, and that there is no glacier there, which was supposed to be there. Because of global warming, it's not there anymore.
Passing you.
These are mirrors to reflect sunlight to the areas which don't receive sunlight at all.
Go on.
So the sunlight gets reflected on these mirrors, and then it hits the areas where, there's no sunlight. So, they get to see sunlight.
Oh, so they've got a peculiar region where they get some sunlight somewhere and they don't get sunlight?
Perhaps it's a valley and there's no sunlight at all. It's dark all the time, and they have placed the mirrors strategically so the sunlight gets reflected and falls on that area.
Put your hands together. Solving mankind problems. Some of their places, because it's a valley, does not get sunlight at all. And they came up with an extremely smart idea. They started putting reflectors on the mountains, plus 50 to her. Beautifully answered. She'll get a 50 as we move across to your direct question, her direct question. On your screen, here we go. These are t-shirts worn by the Newcastle Club. Not for their players, but for whom? So it's basically for the audience. You got to give me a better answer on what's so special about these t-shirts. Technology and sport. 5 seconds. Not trying?
Is it for the umpires?
Passing you.
Yeah,
Passing you from referees.
Yeah, I think because the 6 point says that they sort of kind of use motors to vibrate in resonance with the crowd cheering and tactile sensory experience. So I'm presuming these are for fans who are in the stadium who are deaf, can't sort of hear what's happening. So they're using tactile sensory experiences to help them understand sort of what's sort of happening at the match. From a sound perspective.
So one of the important things in a soccer match is the ambience of the match and the noise that gets created.
Correct.
And if you're deaf, you can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So you create a t-shirt which creates
the similar tactile sensory experience to let them sort of understand.
Easily the best answer of the evening. The world is increasingly becoming an inclusive place, and we've got to put in every effort to create products that include people. This is a fabulous technological intervention and an equally fabulous answer. I think that takes him into the lead without a doubt as we go to the next one, which is his direct question. On your screen, here we go. This is from the days of the war. 3 posters on your screen. The first, of course, was the famous one, "Will bring us victory." The second was "Freedom is in peril." The third,
Keep calm and carry on.
sorry?
Keep calm and carry on.
You know the story behind it?
Yeah, so basically, I think they released these posters at the time of the World War so that people won't sort of feel bad, right? Like you have to still sort of get about doing your work and sort of like give you motivation, right? So people would look at these posters, but now sort of in the reference now, like how people look at it, it's just become like a memorabilia thing to just remind you of those times.
So the third poster is "Keep calm, carry on."
Carry on, correct.
The RAF
Story-
bombings of London.
The story behind it is 2.5 million copies of the third poster were also created. There was 2.5 million of each. For some odd reason, during the wars, the third poster never got used. And they did not even know where it was, kept hidden or whatever you want to call it. They found it much later and said it's still relevant and we'll use it. So even to this day, you get replicas of that. That was the third poster created during the war but not used extensively during the war. Another 50 to him. He's really, really beginning to play this game well. As we go to the last one and question to you, this is to Ayush on your screen now. Yep. This is, well, no points for guessing who the two are. This is the Euro final. Yamal there played a superb game against France. Now, no coach in his sane mind would pull out a Yamal from that ground. But Yamal was removed in that final just before the playing time ended. Why did the coach do that? Why was Yamal removed?
To obtain extra time?
Passing you on the other side.
So
Go on.
basically, in Germany, where the Euro 24 final was there, held in Berlin, in Germany in general, Yamal is not 18 yet. He was 16 at the time of the Euros. So technically, it would be employing him over a certain amount of stipulated time in that match would mean that he's been engrossed in full-time work, which is not permissible by law if you're under the age of 18 years old. And since he was 16, he had to be subbed off in the final.
Because if the match had gone into extra time,
he would have crossed the limit of permissible work hours for a underage person.
Labor law.
Fantastic! Fantastic! Well, the match is between Spain and France. The location is Germany. So the laws that apply are the German laws. So what happened was, they figured that the final was starting 45 minutes late because you always have all these performances before the big ones. And they knew if the match goes into extra time, Yamal's going to be in trouble. Now the law says he's not allowed to work. If he's found working, there's a fine. Coaches being coaches, the coach said, pay the fine. I'm not pulling Yamal out of the ground. No way I'm doing that. That could have been tactical pressure that he was putting on France. But his government actually called him and said, we will not, for the sake of winning a football match, break a law in another country or in any country. We will play by the true spirit of law. And therefore, you will pull Yamal out when that time is for him to pull him out. I mean, that is playing sport while respecting laws in this world. Outstanding things that come out, great amount of diplomacy there. We'll take a look at the scores. The buzzers are going to start playing a role, and that is going to be probably the only way they can catch up with the lone contender from Abu Dhabi. We'll take a look at where this quiz is at this stage. 4 of them on 100, 1 on 50, all giving one young man a chase here today. But he's got on to 300, and he is leading this final. He's given some outstanding answers. So he's putting the pressure on them, is Pratyush Goyal. And the game can obviously change from here as we move into the buzzers. All right, what I request you all to do is on the buzzer light which you find, there's a red color button, just press it once and you'll get a small red light facing you. So just hold on. I'll just go around and check if everyone's got that right. If you could just switch it off once and switch it on again. Wait. Not y'all, okay? Yeah, all of you have a red light. All right, buzzer's triggered, hold on. Okay, wait. 1, just press. Any of the buttons, good. 2, lovely. 3, any of the buttons. Yep, okay. Use that, whichever is easy, you can move it to where you want. Pradeep, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All buzzers working, just keep the mics towards you, ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen. And we're going to move on to the next 3 rounds, all on the buzzer. 4 questions each in the next 3 rounds. Plus 50 if you get it right, minus 50 if you get it wrong. 2 attempts allowed on every question, which means if one of you gets it wrong, there's a second attempt for only the remaining 7. So the same contestant can't attempt twice. So if we are ready, we move on to the next round, saluting some of the pioneers of this world. Here it comes, on your screen now. What you will also get along with a visual is a couple of boxes which tells you the number of letters in the answer. So just reconfirm before you choose to press the buzzer. Plus 50, minus 50, 4 questions. From here, the quiz will take about 11 to 12 minutes, so we should be done in quick time from here. As we start with question number 1, hands on the buzzer, on your screen now. His name is Roberto Lianguanato. On table number 2.
Yeah, he's the founder. So basically, this guy created tiramisu. He died last year.
He created tiramisu.
Yeah.
Which is your answer.
Correct.
And he died last year.
Correct.
Plus 50.
Oh my.
Plus 50! Well, if you can on your way back home, have a tiramisu. Well, the man who gave the world that passed away, and therefore he qualifies for the IBPC quiz. Question number 2. On your screen, careful. Here we go. He's gone in a flash.
Yeah, so this is Samsung. Samsung basically helped create Burj Khalifa, and this is sort of their, for the Olympics, they basically said, like, I mean, this is their campaign. I'm not exactly sure, but overall answer is Samsung, and it fits the blanks, so.
They were one of the creators or constructors of the Burj Khalifa, which very few people know. Samsung actually has a construction company. So your Burj Khalifa, one of the construction was by Samsung. And there are 5 dots in their new campaign, Together for Tomorrow, which was a celebration of the Olympics by them. Put your hands together for him. 50 again! All right, as we go to the next one, question number 3, on your screen now. This is a product that you eat. Go ahead. What will you eat in the future if you buy this?
This is water.
You eat
Water.
water? You would stop drinking water and start eating.
Jol khabo.
Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Water is going to be eatable in the future. This is manufactured water. In fact, they tried it, I think, at the London Marathon. I'm not very sure, but I think it's the London Marathon where they tried this. Water will give him a plus 50. We just neutralize the buzzer, all right? And one more to go in this round on your screen. Now. This company, table number 4, he's gone for it, makes these sweaters every year.
Yeah, so that's
One sec, don't refresh, table number 4.
Yeah, so that's Microsoft. I think these are their Christmas sweaters that they do because that's the Microsoft screensaver or wallpaper. So each year, I think every year in December, either they give it to their employees or they give it or they sell it. But either way, it's Microsoft because of I think
so
the
it's
wallpaper.
Sweaters based on their famous Windows screensavers. Yeah. Microsoft also manufactures sweaters. Well, you learned so many things in a quiz, and that's a 50. So the chase is beginning to come up. as we progress in this quiz. All right, I've got a couple of audience questions to do because these guys aren't really leaving anything for the audience. So I got a prompt from IBPC saying, we've got a lot of prizes, please give it away. So let me do a couple of audience questions for you. All right, let me start with this one. Let me just cover this. Okay, here we go. All right. Question came to my mind when I crossed the Waldorf Hotel. So connect the following for me. Waldorf, the character Snow White, the character Julius Caesar, and Greek gods in general. Yes, sir. All names of salads. Put your hands together. All names of salads. Waldorf salad, Snow White salad, Caesar salad, Greek salad. If you could just stand up. Can we mark them out and give the prizes? Yeah? Can they collect it later? It'll just help me gain. You're okay with that? All right.
Sure, he just won himself a watch from Titan.
Oh, then we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. Since the photographer is waiting there. If you could just collect that. Round of applause for him. Lovely, lovely. All right, we'll not miss the photo ops. We'll do this quickly then. Okay. Let me ask you this. In the olden days, December was not the 12th month in the calendar. So, what month was it? What month? Yes, ma'am. The 10th month. How do you say that?
The 10th month. DEC, decimal, that is also, it stands for 10. So it was the 10th.
Deca stands for 10.
Stands for 10th, yeah.
And 2 months were introduced, so they just moved it.
Yes.
So Octa, which is October, was actually the 10th month, but Oct means 8. Nov means 9. Dec means 10.
Right.
But they became 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
Well, she's a wonderful professor from Chennai. She's inspired a lot of young students as a professor in India. Lovely to have you in Dubai, ma'am.
Thank
She'll
you.
win herself.
Lovely being part of one more of your quizzes. I know how well they've been curated all along and participated in some of them earlier as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have also won yourself a spa voucher from J Wellness at Taj.
All right. Let me ask you one more. And here we go. Okay. Ma'am, you can't answer this. This place gets its name from a Greek word, shol, which actually means a place where you go for leisure. You know, you go to have fun. It's a place for leisure. Yes, sir. Seoul, okay? Sorry? Just give him the mic.
School.
School, where you go to study.
Yeah.
It's a place for pleasure.
And
Ask the kids, they'll tell you it's a place for pressure. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. The word school actually means place for joy, place for pleasure, place for fun. Ironically, man came and ruined it. Well, as another fellow educator, she'll agree with me perhaps. I don't know which kid will agree that it's a place for pleasure and fun. You got your prize?
Sir, you have just won yourself an F&B voucher from Taj.
Oh, all right. You're from Dubai? You're from Dubai? All right, you have time to redeem it. All right. Otherwise, you can give it to me, that's why. Okay. Here's one more for you. Let me... Round about the 18th century, there used to be two types of candles which would get marketed. One was candles, normal candles. The other was called pin candles. Pin, P-I-N, pin. And these candles would have a pin that is poked to the candle. Why? The lady there. Yes, ma'am. If you could just stand up. Oh, when the pin falls on something metallic, it would be an alarm.
Yes.
All right, creative. No. Anyone else? Right in front. I'll come to you next. Time measurement device. For what? For what? Why were pin candles sold?
Because everybody wasn't able to afford like expensive watches, so they said these are the watches for poor people.
Anyone else? Gentleman in front.
So basically this was meant for the time based, and when it is reaching up to that, it will goes off so that the candle will be getting saved for the longer use.
No. Gentleman there, white shirt, yes? That's what she said. Anything other than alarms? Yeah. To know that it's prayer time. Okay. Gentlemen at the back. To measure the
Temperature.
It is to measure the temperature or weather of the room.
All right.
That is my guess.
When did you leave science? I mean, you, me, and science could have been dangerous. Gentlemen at the back. Sorry? Go on, I can hear you.
So that the candle goes off even if you are not paying attention, you have to set time.
Said to save the candle. All right, I think I'm going to give you the answer. Anybody here? All right, one more hand, yes. He's waving there. Don't leave me out.
Thank you. That's actually my wife who gave me the answer.
All right. Credit before you know it's right or wrong. Good man. Clever man. Go ahead.
So she says it's...
Full diplomacy, yes.
That's how it is. That's how they used to auction back over there.
Huh?
So they used to determine the time of auction based on how much the candle used to burn.
Oh, so the moment the pin fell,
the auction finishes.
The auction ended. Can I request your wife to stand?
Yes,
please. Now is the time when the pin falls and you will sit. Yeah. And your wife will stand. Put your hands together for her. Lovely. Lovely answer. These were used for auctions. How do you know how much time is there for an auction? So when the pin fell, the auction stopped. And whoever bid was the highest at that moment was the winner of the auction.
Ma'am, the spa voucher is yours.
All right.
Congratulations.
You win the rights to take her to the spa. All right, that's your prize. Can we have a round of applause for him? Okay. We've got more, or can I move on? We've got more? Oh, okay. Okay, let me ask you this. The atomic number is 38. The color is red. It's a town. It's a town in a particular country which gives its name to the element that you would find on a periodic table called strontium. Which country? Gentleman there.
Scotland.
Strontium on the periodic table is actually the name of a place
in Scotland.
In Scotland. And the red color that you find in your fireworks actually comes from strontium. Put your hand. Science background?
Yeah.
All right. What do you do?
I have a healthcare startup.
All right. Put your hands together for him.
Sir, a Titan watch for you.
Oh, all right. Okay, let me ask you one last one.
Yeah, please.
Can I do one more? One more, okay. One more and then I'll go on stage. Let me ask you this. All right. In the olden days when you had sailors and people were sailing all the time, they would basically go below the deck area, and this was to ride out a storm in those days. So you basically go below the deck. And they also did this to avoid being seasick, because during the storms they would also have a lot of turbulence. This was also a place where they were asked to kind of quarantine themselves in a way, or isolate themselves when they were unwell. What's the English phrase that came from these sailors? Yes, sir. You want to try again? Under the weather. So when you're not well, you say, I'm a little under the weather. So when the weather became bad, you went under. Put your hands together.
So you've just won yourself an F&B voucher from Taj Dubai.
Lovely. One more? Yeah? Oh, all right. Okay. From the days of the military, this phrase comes from a military person going to typically meet a spy, where the spy or the informer is a better term perhaps, had the right to choose the location where he or she would meet the person. And the military person would not know where he or she is going. What term from that question I got this in my mind? Yes, sir. Rendezvous, okay? No man's land, clever thinking. All right, we'll meet in no man's land. No. Yes? Deja, yeah, no. Well, really? Yes? No? No? Recce. Gentleman at the back. Undercover. Oh, okay. Safe house. All right, no, not you guys. Yes? 0 point. No? No, you can't try twice. Okay, I'll give you a clue. For all the youngsters out here, you might have tried it around Valentine's Day. Yes, ma'am. It's an answer. Everyone's now doing neighbor spokesman. Okay, then let's get him to answer. Blind date. Oh, you go on a date, but you don't know where you're going, who you're meeting, and the term blind date. Why did you not want to answer yourself? You weren't sure. You got a long history of blind dates? No? Put your hands together. He's got it right.
And won himself an F&B voucher from Taj JLT.
All right. I'll come after the... We'll keep tab on who you go with to that date. All right. We'll get back on stage and move into this big final. I just get a feeling this is going to be close as we move to round 4 of our final. Am I right? Out of the box, here it is.
How many questions, Giri?
8 questions to go. Okay? So just give me a second. Let me just leave the cards that I've already used so that I'm in order. Okay? We've got 4 questions in this round. You got to give me answers which are a little out of the box. So you got to think hard before you give me the answer. You could have an audio along with the clues appearing on your screen. Plus 50, minus 50, 2 attempts allowed. Starting with the first one on your screen now. He's gone for it, is Kalai, in very quick speed. Go ahead, Kalai. On table number 6.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. We'll give him a -50. Anyone else on the buzzer? Pradeep's on the buzzer now. On the second attempt, yes?
Mark Cuban, perhaps. He owns the Dallas Cowboys. And I think he sold broadcast.com to AT&T and later Yahoo. Most valuable promotions, perhaps it's something. So my answer is Mark Cuban. Now that I think of it, it's not right. Yeah.
The last part is what you got right, which is it's not right. -50. -50. No, it's working. He's just late. Yeah. Okay. It takes only the one who presses first. So, you're from Abu Dhabi Investments? No? All right. Okay. Just curious. Okay. He's from the Dubai side. Oh, okay. All right. Serious concern. His buzzer's not working. All right. Yep. Anybody? Audience? Yes, ma'am. Netflix was the music, yes. Far more than that. Current affairs? No. Current affairs? Not you.
Can I try?
No, not on stage. Yes. No. Basketball team? No prizes. Okay, go on.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. Why the music?
Streamed on Netflix.
Streamed on Netflix. Okay, no prizes. That's my son. Okay. That's my son, but he'll get no prizes. He's managing the buzzers today. We had a last minute tension and the technical person could not fly, was seriously unwell. So he was coming over to see Dubai for 3 days. So he'll get no prizes, but nice one. Okay. I think at his age, that was generationally relevant for him to crack the much hyped Tyson-Jake Paul fight. All right. I'll buy you something, okay? Don't fight. Okay, here we go. The connection is the fight between Jake Paul and Tyson. It was held at the AT&T Stadium. The AT&T Stadium is the home ground of the Dallas Cowboys. MVP promotion or most valuable promotions marketed it, and like he said, it was streamed on Netflix. So the overall answer was that. Current affairs. Next one, no music. On your screen, question number 2. 2 of them taking crucial -50s. So on table 2, he's going to be watching every negative now. On to the question. Here we go. What were all of these in the world that we live in at some point in time or the other? He's leading and he's taking chances. Just move the mic towards you or you move to the mic. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll say that these are all sort of kind of taxes which were enforced historically. Like you had a beard tax, you had a tax if you sort of had a tattoo. In some places you have a tax if you sort of have a window. And the last one, I'm not sure, but sort of the overall answer is that these are all sort of taxes which are imposed at different points in time.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Taxation across the world. In Britain, you actually had a law which said beyond a certain number of windows, if you had an extra window, you paid a tax for that window. So beautifully answered. Playing cards were taxed. Well, so I don't like asking such questions because there could be people who get ideas and, in India at least we get a little worried sometimes now. We had a huge popcorn story recently, but I mean, come on. That's being a little too unfair on people, but nonetheless. All right. Here's the next one. There is an audio, so listen to it. Careful. Here we go.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
All right.
Yeah.
Gone for it and gone for it really fast.
Overall answer is that they all have airports named after them.
Break them up for me.
Yeah, so Cristiano Ronaldo, Mother Teresa, I think that's Leonardo da Vinci. I think one of the airports in Italy is probably named after him. Benito Mussolini, and I think the audio was Nelson Mandela.
Audio was?
Mandela, right? No, or Martin Luther King.
Your answer?
Airports named after them.
The audio was John F. Kennedy.
Sorry.
Ask not. Yeah. Well, JFK Airport, plus 50 again. He's got that absolutely right. As we go to the last one, hands on the buzzer. He's really rocking here as we go to the final question now. In this round, someone's gone for it. On table number 8, what do you make of all these?
So these were all paintings by Adolf Hitler.
They're all paintings drawn by Adolf Hitler.
Lesser known fact, he was a painter as well.
The fact is a correct fact. The answer is a wrong answer, minus 50. All these paintings. Table 6, okay, Kalai, just neutralize. Kalai, go again? Yeah.
I'm guessing Winston Churchill.
All these were paintings of Winston Churchill. The problem is when you don't allow the quizmaster to earn his livelihood. Wait for me to ask. A year ago, all of these paintings went for 3 times their previously sold price for a specific reason. So who was or is the painter? Anybody in the audience? Yes. The scientist, strontium. Microsoft, oh, these are Excel art. No. Yes, sir. King Charles has time to sit and paint.
All the time.
He had a lot of time.
But they have a lot of... All right. All these paintings go to the charity of Prince Charles, now turned King Charles. He's an outstanding trained painter. Put your hands together for him. Lovely. Lovely.
Sir, you have also won yourself an F&B voucher from Taj GLT.
All right, lovely. Can we also have a round of applause for Taj for being really courteous and generous with all those prizes? Thank you, Stuti, for doing that for us. 1 round to go. Well, defending champion will show you the scores. Missing out with that answer on Hitler. That's the logical one anybody would ask. So, well, on 500, well, he is really looking solid. This year is Pratyush Goyal. I mean, he's really playing out of his, memory boxes with such clarity. 2 more prizes to go. So Pratyush really, Kanishk actually going down by another 50. He was on 100. So we'll have to see who's going to play for that 2nd and 3rd prize carefully. We've got 3 or 4 of them in the run for that, as we've got the last 4 questions to come up. I reckon, can we just have the scores? Sorry. Rupa Rashmi, who was handling the scores? Yeah, okay. Okay, 50, 100, 50 into, okay, so he might just employ silence after the first question or so, because he may not want to volunteer negatives. That's the only way the others can catch up technically, because you've got 4 questions to go, so 200 points in score, okay. So unless he contributes to the drama, it's not going to really be possible. He's played a sublime final here today. I think he deserves a round of applause as Pratyush, unless he does harakiri from here. Well, he's now standing far away from that table, so he's still going back to the buzzers. As we move to the final frontier, in a fast-paced world, here it is. Four final questions. I will read out the questions to you. 2 attempts are allowed. Nothing appears on your screen. If you press the buzzer while I'm reading the question, I shall stop the moment you press the buzzer, because you're indicating that you know the answer. If you get it wrong, I continue reading the question for the benefit of the remaining 7. If you're ready, question number 1 of 4. Here we go. Hands on the buzzer. I am a technological marvel in this world that was completed in 1869. I helped connect the Atlantic and the Pacific and significantly helped global trade. He's gone for it as Kalai.
Suez Canal.
Plus 50. Plus 50 on the creation of the Suez Canal. Question number 2. Hands on the buzzer. Here we go. Excelsa and Liberica are two of the four main types of something.
Coffee.
Varieties of coffee.
Yeah.
Plus 50 again. Oh, he's bouncing back. Question number 3. It's a term that's normally used as colloquial reference for money. It comes from the fact.
Buck. Bucks from green buck, like because they used to use skin as currency, so buck and green buck. So bucks
is a term that came into existence.
For money.
Plus 50. A term for money. Plus 50. We'll take a look at the scores if we can. All right, this is interesting stuff. Oh, 150, 150, and okay, 100. So he needs the last one. So you may have a three-way tie otherwise. On 500, he's absolutely quiet. He's happy. Final question. Hands on the buzzer. Here we go. Designed by the renowned French architect Jean Nouvel, it is a unique dome.
Okay. Maybe out of turn, but Louvre, Abu Dhabi.
His loyalty for Abu Dhabi will not go down. On this occasion, plus 50. On this occasion, a plus 50. The Louvre is called the rain of light, which is the effect that the dome creates. It creates the rain of dome. So it's a dome here, a pyramid elsewhere. The Louvre is absolutely the right answer. Finally, an Abu Dhabi question for him on the final one to take him to 550. Authoritative, really played it out. I mean, super quizzing. Let me quickly get to my tiebreaker cards because I think we've got a tiebreaker. Ladies, if you can just help me with the scorecard. Yeah, okay. All right, I think I've got that part right. We've got two of them on 150. On table number 7, we've got Nikhil on 150. And on table number 4, we've got Pradeep on 150. Everyone gets prizes, so that's a good thing here. So let me settle the tiebreaker for the second spot. One question at a time, only for the two of you. Whoever gets it right, runner-up. Whoever misses out will congratulate the other. All right, life is simple. Let me go to question 1. Nothing appearing on screen. Okay. That music adds to the suspense. I'm just looking at something that's a very fair tiebreaker question. All right. These were caps that were manufactured as the symbol of liberty. It came from an era when slaves who were freed used to actually wear them. These caps were in the news last year. Why? If both of you agree, I'll tell you the name of the cap. And then you can work the answer out if you think you know it. Both of you agree?
Yeah.
All right. The caps were called Phryges. The caps were called Phryges. Spelt P-H-R-Y-G-E-S. Both of you collaborating? You can split the prize money. I mean...
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Not yet. He wants to try. Defending champion.
They were the mascots for the Paris 2024 Olympics.
The mascot was actually a hat design. It was a tribute to the generation where the world got it wrong with the slaves. Put your hands together for it. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. All right, here's the next one. Aviator Charles Lindbergh created a sensation by flying across the Atlantic. But the Time magazine did not give him a tribute on their cover page. They realized that it was so historic and they had goofed up. So how did they make up for this goof up with Charles Lindbergh? And therefore, what started? Table number 4. Pradeep's gone for it. Just neutralize, no problem. Yeah?
Can you just repeat the last part?
Charles Lindbergh flew. Time magazine did not put him on their cover. They felt embarrassed that they could not do it. They made up for him, and therefore, what started?
I think this could be the Person of the Year. So then it was called Time Man of the Year. I think now it's called Time Person of the Year. So because they could not put him in the cover, so they just instituted the Person of the Year as a concept. So now we have Time Man of the Year and Person of the Year.
So the Time Man of the Year or the Person of the Year was actually a correction for a mistake, so to say. And they said, now let's not put him in the next month's cover and embarrass ourselves further. Let's park it till the end of the year and give him a Man of the Year, which has now rightfully become the Person of the Year. Put your hands together for him as he finishes runner-up here after that remarkable final. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get you on to the prizes and before the prize distribution as well and hand you back to Stuti, can we have a thunderous applause for all these 8? What a remarkable final. I must be honest, Rashmi and me had long debates with our team on a couple of these questions and said, maybe we're just making it a little too tough for year 2, but I think they've proved us wrong. They really lived up to the questions that we had lined up. Outstanding answers, some superb quizzers on stage as well. And it's always, in a way, well, the Pete Sampras story plays out differently this time. I'm sure he'll come back more resolved a year later to get back that title that he won a year ago. But in all of this, ladies and gentlemen, let's not ignore or forget an outstanding performance by Pratyush Goyal. Superb. He knows the quality of quizzers that are on his right and left. With 550 on a quiz like this, he was thoroughly well prepared and it was his evening. Extremely well played. And for the first time in year 2, the trophy goes to Abu Dhabi, which I think is wonderful for the quiz. That is the way it should be, and it's remarkable to see something like that happen. Knowledge grows when knowledge is shared, else it never grows. And this is the best way to do it. So next year, I believe there will be far more Abu Dhabi teams seated here, because they will know, all right, we need to start traveling for this quiz. But extremely well played. For now, he's done a job in perfection. Well played. Over to you, Stuti. And can they stay or?
Yes, I'm going to ask the 5 finalists, that is Ayush, Ramya, Anshuman, Kalai and Kanishk, to stay on stage, and the other 3, the winners, we'll call you back in a bit. Thank you so much, Giri, and we just want to say on behalf of everyone, thank you for leading us on this unforgettable ride like no one else could have. Let's please put our hands together for the quizzing rock star, the one, the only Giri Pigbrain Balasubramaniam.
Friends, 5 minutes, please. Let's all leave together. I mean, we'll be really unfair to our contestants. We're actually 2 minutes ahead of schedule, so please, if you could just, yeah.
May I quickly call upon IBPC Secretary General Dr. Sahitya Chaturvedi and our 5 sponsors, Mr. Mukund Mokhe, Mr. Ashish Kumar, Mr. Ashok Kapoor, Mr. Ankush Saha, and Mr. Rajan TN to come on stage to felicitate our 5 incredible finalists. I'm going to read their names once again. Ayush Bhatia, Ramya Ghati, Anshuman Kishore, Kalai Selvam, and Kanishk Mukherjee. That was a game well played, guys. You have earned those bragging rights, and we're making sure you walk away with more than memories. We're making sure you walk away with sunglasses from Titan Eye, vouchers from Tanishq, vouchers from Taj GLT, and a gift hamper from Tata Consumer Products. Can we have the prizes, please?
Can they come in any order? Yeah, all get the same goodie bag? All right, Ayush, if we can start with you then.
Absolutely.
Can we have a round of applause?
Any order is a good order.
No, I'm... Can we hear it for Ramya?
Ramya, please.
Anshuman? Just face the camera. Kalai? And finally, Kanish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I am now going to request IBPC Chairman, Mr. Siddharth Balachandran, to please come on stage and say a few words to address this incredible gathering. Sir, the stage is yours.
Dr. Bastaki, governors, committee members, Chairman Emeritus Suresh, and the quizzing superstars. You know, if I had any arrogance about my intellectual ability, that is gone. Now I realize where I stand. And thank you, Giri, and your team, and the 8 finalists, and the innumerable, Ankur, 445 odd participants. Thank you so much for making this happen, making this better. In fact, that was a challenge that I only said 2 words to Ankur and his crack team. Yes, go ahead. So I had no clue as to what else happened. Kudos to you, all of you. Stuti, great job as always. Ankur, Aditya, all of you. Secretary General, no shairi today. So suffice it to say that this is one of our marquee events that we had earmarked since it was held last year under the leadership of Suresh Kumar. And this time around, our aim was only to match it. But if I may, at the risk of sounding a little proud, I think that this is the best yet. And next time, the promise is that we exceed this. So this is the ethos at IBPC, which hopefully we will be able to pass on to each and every event, not to lead this. So once again, thank you so much, all of you, for having spared your time on a Sunday and come to this extremely impactful period of intellectual stimulation. Thank you. God bless UAE. God bless India. God bless all of you. Thank you.
At that moment where we're going to start handing out the shiny stuff, but before we do that, I really want to bring on stage and introduce His Excellency, Mr. Satish Shivan. His Excellency, Mr. Satish Kumar Shivan, assumed charge as Consul General of India to Dubai and the Northern Emirates in 2023. He's a career diplomat with over 20 years of rich experience working in the government of India. At the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi, His Excellency worked in various capacities, including in the External Affairs Minister's Office in East Asia Division, handling relations with China, Korea, and Mongolia. He has also served in different capacities in Indian missions in Beijing, Washington, D.C., and as the Deputy Chief of Mission in Seoul. Sir, can we have you on stage, please, to share a few words with us?
My one request to IBPC is to not introduce me. Next year, probably you can have some elements of my assignments as a question also. Just to see whether people have been paying attention to this introduction that is being given every time. So, wonderful guests here, so I'm not going to recognize everybody. It's such a wonderful evening. Thanks to Mr. Giri and his team. Exhilarating is a small word, if I can say, for what we went through for the past 60 minutes. It's so unfair for the people who are second place or third place. The one thing that differentiated them from Pratyush Goyal was probably 1/100th of a second, right? And he looked like way apart from them. But I think personally that all of them are of the same league, and it's just 1/100th of a second that differentiates the first and the last. So my heart goes out for everyone else on this stage, but such a wonderful show. So I think we should give it up for all the participants. So thank you very much, and I hope next time it will be a bigger event as promised by Mr. Siddharth Balachandran, and eventually it should be a marquee event for the whole of Middle East. So probably Dubai should take pride in hosting for the whole of Middle East, and I look at the future when it will grow in stature. Thank you very much.
Excellency, Mr. Satish, Mr. Siddharth, the Chairman of IBPC, and gentle ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Actually, when they told me you will speak for like a minute or two, I was thinking of students, and so I thought I'm coming from my home year, I need to talk about students and so on. Suddenly I realized they're all grown-ups. So I said, okay, now it's different now. But one thing I like to tell you is that I have a cousin that if you see him, if you talk to him, you'll think he's a real Indian. He's an Emirati, my cousin, first cousin. Once we were playing a quiz game, family together, all of us cousins, and we were enjoying it, and I was the one who was asking questions. And I asked the question, what is our national day? Which date was our national day? And he raised his hand. He said 15th of August. That wasn't enough. I told him, I meant UAE. He said, your country. To that extent, he speaks Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati or Punjabi, 3-4 languages in India, Marathi. Of course, he was in Bombay. And one thing also I like also to ask as a quiz, you know the famous Marconi, he's the one who invented the wireless communication in 1899, he started it, and he got a prize. But in the beginning of 21st century, IEEE proved that it was somebody else who did it. And an Indian did it actually, right? J.C. Bose. So this would be a good question for you, but now it's gone already. So sometimes you see, not all information given are correct. They could be fixed. And it's good that they fixed it. So for us, we look at lifelong learning. And I think those who are winners are the ones who are really lifelong learners. If you continue doing it, yes, you will succeed. And for me, one day I was one of the best actually in quizzes, but now I'm one of the worst because the age, affects always. But we were discussing, sometimes we were right, sometimes we were wrong, but at the end, we knew a little bit only. So congratulations to all of you. It's an excellent event. I really enjoyed it very much. I just to go to the prayer and come back, so I lost some questions. I enjoy learning new things. And thank you all, congratulations to all of you for winning this quiz.
Business growth and strategic initiatives across the region for the Tata Group. Based in Dubai since 2019, he's a key force in expanding Tata's consumer, retail and hospitality businesses while driving the One Tata agenda. May I request IBPC Chairman Mr. Siddharth Balachandran to please facilitate Mr. Gupta, who might want to say a few words.
Last speech of the day, we promise. So great that we were all students here. So the education agenda was fulfilled, and from the Tata Group perspective, we've been supporting quizzing in India, especially through the Tata Crucible property since 2004, and we are proud to be associated with IBPC for this quiz, and we hope it continues to shine and grow onwards. Thanks.
Finally, a moment to honor someone who has truly been the soul of tonight's event, a man who doesn't just ask questions, he creates experiences. A legend in the world of quizzing who makes every question feel like a story and every answer a discovery. Giri Pick Brain Balasubramaniam, you've not just hosted tonight, you've inspired, entertained, and kept us all at the edge of our seat. Thank you so much for your contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a huge round of applause for Giri. This crowd is going to hate me, so I'm just going to pass it over to you now because the final moment is here.
All right, the evening doesn't belong to any one of us, it belongs to these three gentlemen. Before I actually get them here, I really want to thank all the dignitaries, all of you. Fabulous final here today, truly appreciate the presence of our chief guest of honor, Dr. Bastaki, His Excellency, Mr. Shivan. I want to also, as a quizzer representing all the quizzers, thank the Tata Group, Air India, Taj, Tetley, Titan, Bumerick, Khalij Time, City 101.6. Of course, the other sponsors, TriStar, Lulu, FMC, Aster, HSBC. Can we have a round of applause for all of them? And last but not the least, to the IBPC team. I think remarkable work. It's not easy to put a quiz like this together. To all the event managers, to Ankur. From tomorrow, he'll block my calls, but that's okay. We trouble him a lot during this time. But really, hats off to all of you from Rashmi and me. And now the moment for these three. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together to welcome on stage, finishing third here today. But like he said, it's 1/100th of a second. I completely agree with that. Nikhil Kumar. Put your hands together as he joins us on stage.
Nikhil is the second runner-up and gets to take back a cash prize of AED 2,500, one return economy class ticket to India from Air India, a one-night stay voucher for two from Taj JLT, a diamond pendant from Mia by Tanishq, and a gift hamper from Tata Consumer Products.
Congratulations, Nikhil. Coming up next, representing Yokai, put your hands together. The runner-up here today, Pradeep Atmara. Well done.
Pradeep has won a cash prize of AED 5,000, one return premium economy class ticket to India from Air India, a one-night stay voucher for two from Taj Dubai Business Bay, a diamond pendant from Mia by Tanishq, and a gift hamper from Tata Consumer Products. A huge round of applause, please.
Wait. You know, I actually posted on Instagram before I came to Dubai. I said it's one quiz where there are more prizes than the number of questions we ask. And it's so true. It turns out to be true. I thought that was a cheeky line, but factually, I think that's correct. Congratulations. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly the star of the evening here today. Truly outstanding, truly brilliant. He had the advantage of that 100th of a second because he seemed so well prepared. Representing the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, our champion for 2025 here today at the IBPC Corporate Quiz, Pratyush Goyal. Let's hear it for him.
Pratyush walks away with a prize, a cash prize of AED 7,500. One return business class ticket to India from Air India, a one-night stay voucher for 2 from Taj Exotica Resorts and Spa, the Palm Dubai, a diamond pendant from Mia by Tanish, and a gift hamper from Tata Consumer Products.
You must hear this. I asked him, are you married, young man? He says, I'm getting married in October. Tanish got it right. He's got a diamond pendant. Well, you got it perfect. All sorted. Congratulations. Lovely. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we hear it for our guests here today? Can we get all three of you here? Come. Please come. Rashmi somewhere here? Can Rashmi join us as well, please? Slowly. There she is. Come. She's there. She's come. Careful. He's really good at it. That was a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Can we hear it for our guests? Thank you so much to all of you for being here and gracing this evening. Till we meet next year, from me, Big Brain, from my young colleague Rashmi, from everybody at IBPC, trust you enjoyed this evening. We'll see you hopefully next year.